when I started, I just did it because I could, and it was available to me, and the technology became easy enough and accessible enough, to your point, that I felt anybody could do it, but not a lot of people were doing it. Now, seeing the pervasiveness of technology now in the palm of our hands, these computer systems that can handle more than the computers that I used to live stream back in the day. I'm not going to say it gives me hope for the future, but I genuinely get excited with, I guess, the label that's being used, like small creators, which doesn't make any sense to me, or like growing creators, or creators who are wanting to start in any way, and putting their ideas out there in one way, shape, or form. I would have loved to have seen that happen when I began with creating content, and I feel differently about it now. And I honestly get excited when I see a new voice enter the fray. Someone who is interested in talking about technology, and has their perspective, and a unique perspective. They don't look and sound like everybody else, but they found their voice. That's exciting to see. And whether they have 100 people or 100,000 people who happen to be following them, I think that's something that I can get behind. And I like being able to find those types of creators before they grow, and I'm trying to do a better job, grow to the point where there is some degree of notoriety behind them. I'm trying to do a better job at finding them and elevating those voices. And so that's one of the reasons why Twitch has been kind of fun for me, because it's not as easy to grow on Twitch as it was on, or is on, YouTube.
I see you got some cheers and some bits and all types of stuff going on.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention. In fact, speaking of, I totally forgot. I'm in the hole. I've got candy corn that I've got to eat. I've got the 25 candy corn, so that means I've got like 25 left in the
bank.
Yeah, I have it in the bank thanks to Graham. All right, here we go. And this is bad because I've also been drinking wine, but it's box wine, so maybe it's, it was destiny. Oh,
just gross.
Oh, it is. Yeah, but that's the funny thing. Back in the day, when I was live streaming, I know I said, I was typically talking tech, but I did this stuff all the time. Oh, people forget that. Oh, so many of my videos were garbage. Oh, no, I'm not talking about how they look. I mean, like, they were just nonsensical fun. Oh.
Drink some water. Oh my god, it just looks terrible.
It is.
Oh god.
It is so bad. Wine doesn't help, man.
Oh my god, it's just nothing that can help that. It's just so, I really don't think that candy corns are meant to be ate. I really don't.
No, they're meant to set on fire.
I think they're decoration at best.
Oh my god.
Really. Oh my god.
This is so bad. Yeah, so anyway.
Yeah. Back to your question.
Yeah, because I got to get my mind off what I'm doing right now. I'm someone who's always been a fan of live streaming, because you never know what's going to happen. And that to me, that I think the game has changed. With content creation. I think I've always been this way, like the live content creator, candy corn notwithstanding. But someone who just put himself out there. And I just so happened to be interested in technology. And so that was, kind of a basis or a foundation. But I was excited because I could live stream. I wasn't excited about the codecs that were being used or what system I used to stream. Just the fact that I could connect with other people. It hits you in waves, man.
Do you get those flavor burps where you burp and you taste the flavor?
Those are coming. It's going to be a Cabernet Sauvignon mixed with a candy corn. Nice bouquet. You can't do that now. You just
Oh.
can't. On YouTube, I could not upload this video to YouTube because the algorithm would go, we don't know what to do with this. We're not going to show it to anybody because candy corn and tech, those two things do not go hand in hand. You've got to live in a silo. This is where you exist. But a lot of my old farting around videos in my YouTube channel were just this. They were silly. And I had topics, and I dug deeper into certain topics. But most of what I used YouTube for back then is different from how the platform evolved. And now if you don't play to the algorithm, any of your community just doesn't exist. Like, your community is a very monolithic way of thinking about connecting with people. And that's one of the reasons why I've doubled down on Twitch. And that's where I feel like my community foundation is on Twitch. And I get excited every night when I stream there than I do when I upload a video on YouTube. Every time I upload a video on YouTube, even if I know I'm saying something that I know would resonate with people, they're not going to see it. Or they're not going to watch it because they've got, shiny objects, off in the distance. Even when you look at the mobile page for YouTube, or the mobile app on YouTube, right? You're watching the video, right?
Yeah.
You see one comment, and then it's like multiple thumbnails after that.
Yeah,
Like, YouTube is not trying to connect you with other people. They're trying to increase time on site, and I don't fault them for that. I don't blame them for that. I think that's great. As a creator, yeah, I would like to, have more people watch more of the videos. But it's that disconnect that ultimately drove me further and further away from quote unquote producing, if that's what you would call it, video for a platform that just did not seem to be a good fit for me. The topic notwithstanding. I don't know if you've ever felt anything like that as someone who is definitely a better tech YouTuber than I ever was.
Well, so by the way, you got a bunch of stuff going on. Barnacles is in here.
Did we get a raid? We had a hype train going on. Oh, how many candy corns? I got to catch up on candy corns now.
Oh, you don't even want to know, man.
I don't want to know. Barnacles, thank you for the raid. This is Travis MCP. Barnacles, if you're not following Travis, you should. I don't know if you're doing much on Twitch, but certainly quite prolific on YouTube. A techie. Also on Twitter, you should give him a follow if you can and should. We'll catch up later, I guess. Thank God. I've got a stay of execution for the candy corns. Thank you, Barnacles, for the raid. So how do you feel then? Like, when you upload a video, are you playing to your community? Are you playing to your base? Are you always thinking about the quote-unquote algorithm?
Yeah, a little bit of everything, because and it makes it kind of frustrating, because I remember when I was just kind of a viewer watching YouTube videos, and I would hear these complaints about the YouTube algorithm, this and that. I was like, what are you talking about? You have however many subscribers and stuff. You always get views. Like, I didn't know any better. And then kind of when I started doing it, I realized, wow, there's a whole other thing at play here. So I was obsessed with learning about it. So I took all types of courses and all this other jazz, and realized it's a lot more complicated than just uploading a video and all your people are going to watch it, because that's just literally not the case. And it can be totally frustrating when you spend time on something that you know is great and people like. Like, I literally did a video the other day with Renee Ritchie, which was excellent. There's so much good information there.
I watched it. I watched it.
Wasn't it really cool?
It was excellent. And why I watched it, because it wasn't just Renee talking, it was the both of you going back and forth. And I tend to be drawn to that type of video content. And certainly, even if I know both personalities, both people, just having that interplay between people whose opinions you respect. You may disagree with them, but you respect. It adds a different level of immersiveness that you don't get when it's just a one-off. So I enjoyed that video, Travis, immensely.
Good, and it's more or less tanked. And it's one of the things that, like, you see the comments, people loved it, they enjoyed it, they watched the whole thing, and the thing tanked. And in talking to Renee, interestingly, he would tell me later, he goes, I'm not really that worried about it because all my collabs tank too. And it's like, that's just...
Here's why.
There's people out there that would want to watch that content. And as good as YouTube is at surfacing cat videos and whatever else, there's just so much really excellent content out there that I think is being missed.
But I believe, because it was an hour long, and the attention span is now a TikTok. right?
It
And
really is.
I'm not faulting TikTok. I feel I'm doing okay on TikTok. Just I'm an old man, but I started up on TikTok and it's doing well. You know, compared to a long hour-long video that I felt had deep information and deep insight. I don't know if YouTube's built for that. And this is something that's difficult to convey. Like when I talk about live video, I had a video I talked about Twitch versus YouTube, and I felt like I was laying down knowledge for fellow creators that would be extremely valuable, but they'll never see it, and because it doesn't fit, and if I talk too long, even if it's in depth about a topic they care about, YouTube's not built for long form content. Despite them having the YouTube Live feature, it's an add-on. It's a distant second to what plays to the algorithm. So I don't know what they're doing messing around with shorts, because they
Oh,
might
you
work,
know why
but
they're doing shorts, right? It's obvious.
hello, hello. Why is anybody doing shorts? You know, I don't know if YouTube can pull it off, because so much of YouTube is baked into the culture of YouTube, not necessarily the format of the video, which is why live video is difficult and will be difficult to catch on, or long form video will be impossible to catch on in relation to YouTube compared to short algorithmic pushed certain tactics, and they've gamed it to the point where it's no longer fun to create content. For me, it's no longer fun to create content that way, because I'm conversational in style. I'm long form, which is why I always played better with doing live video, which is why Twitch is a better fit for me.
Sure, yeah. I agree, and I do live streams on YouTube on Saturdays usually before I release a video, but I do it as a community building thing. I don't expect anything from it other than to have fun. And when I do that, then it's fine. And every once in a while, I will put together a video that's just for my community and just have no expectations of it being like amazing and doing like 100,000 views or whatever.
It's so that speaks to my point. There's no community on YouTube.
Yeah, it's very difficult to find anything like that unless you're. There's an exception. There's a young lady that I met at Vid Summit. Her name is Emily D. Baker, and she somehow is really taking the live streaming thing and growing it on YouTube in some weird. I mean, she's excellent. She's really awesome. She has a great personality, but she's fighting against what YouTube normally would be, which is like, if you're a live streaming channel, you should not grow. Her channel's growing and exploding and doing ridiculous things, which is great. I'm glad to see that, because that's what I want to see more of. But why isn't that the norm? Why
I know.
is it this edge-based? You know,
I mean,
she's like an edge-based channel, but that should be the norm.
I don't think I would have changed my trajectory had it been the norm, but it wasn't, and I lived it. And it, YouTube Live it's a great idea, questionable execution.